Hello everyone and welcome to RcHelpDotCom. I'm Tony and today we're going to be continuing on with the 3GX series. Now is the time where everybody gets confused. Today we're going to be talking about flight mode settings. There's two different ways that you can set up flight mode settings. You can do it on the gyro or you can do it in the computer. Either way you're going to get the same result. You can actually fine-tune the gyro on the computer because you can go 1% increments. If you happen to do it out at the field where you don't have a computer, then you can only go 10% at a time. There's going to be two different style of lights on here. You're going to have a flashing light and then you're going to have a solid light. Flashing light indicates 10%, a solid light indicates 20%. So if I have two solids and a flashing, then I have 50% gain, 20 plus 20 plus 10. The status light is going to tell us what menu we're in. There's 5 different ones. Setting 1, the status light is going to flash 1 time. In setting 5, the status light is going to flash 5 times. To get into the flight mode setting, all you have to do is obviously turn your radio on and plug your gyro in. Now to enter the flight mode settings, all you have to do is hold your rudder stick either left or right and then push and hold the set button. As you can see, I've got 2 solids and a flashing light. I'm on status 1. This is your Aileron and Elevator Roll Rate menu. The higher it is, the faster this thing's going to flip. The lower it is, the slower it's going to flip. If you're a beginner pilot, you want to set this between 0 and 20%. If you're a moderate pilot, then you want to go ahead and set it to about 50% up to maybe 70. If you're a Smack 3D pilot, then go ahead and just crank this bad boy all the way up. To adjust your setting, all you have to do is move either your aileron or your elevator stick. If I move the elevator stick down, as you can see, solid and then flashing, pushing the stick down is actually going to make it go up. Now each one of these settings between aileron and elevator has to be within 20% of each other. Alright, so as you can see, I've got the aileron at 100% and the elevators at 100%. So if I back the aileron down, now we're at 0% on the aileron. Our elevator was at 100%. If I go back to the elevator, it went to 0%. Like I said, 20% of what the other setting is. Alright, we're back on aileron. There's 10% aileron gain. There's 20%, there's 30%, 40%, and then 50%. Like I say, the more lights, the faster this thing's going to flip. I want mine at about 15%. That seems to do really well with this helicopter. Now the next menu, if we click the set button, as you can see, our status light is now flashing twice. This is your endpoint. Now what you're going to notice is once you go into that menu, the swash plate is going to tilt forward. So as you can see, I've got 70% gain. The swash plate's tilted forward, and what we'll do, you cannot independently adjust the aileron and elevator on this one. So what we'll do is we'll move the aileron stick, pull it back, and that's going to add to it. As you can see, the swash plate is tilting forward. If we push up, the swash plate will tilt back. The minimum value that you can put this at is 8 degrees of cyclic pitch. However, you can add another 8 degrees to that cyclic pitch. And the more you go up, the more lights you have. The further you go down, the less lights you have, obviously. Push our button again, and our status light will flash 3 times. Now we're in the Aileron Endpoint setting. Again, the swash plate has tilted, and we can go and adjust it however we need. Again, I want 15%. That seems to work really well to tame this helicopter down. The first menu and these two menus, 1, 2, and 3, these are the menus that you want to lower in order to make this helicopter as stable as possible. If you're a new pilot, then you want to lower these settings. You do not want these things to have 16 degrees of cyclic pitch. To exit out of this, click the set button. Now you'll see that the status light is flashing 4 times. This is the Swashplate Dampening setting. Now in this one, you cannot independently adjust your aileron and your elevator. Whenever you move your aileron stick, the number is going to go up, and this is going to be adding or subtracting dampening to your cyclic, both elevator and aileron. If you use the elevator, This is going to adjust your collective dampening. Now, if you want a smooth, very stable helicopter, then you want to go ahead and you want to turn this up to 70%, maybe 80%. We'll start out with 70 on the collective. Now on the cyclic, I again want about 70%. That seems to really tame these things down. Just be careful, if it gets too sluggish, then go in there and start turning these things down. Again, 70%. We're on 70% with that one as well. Now we can go ahead and click the button one more time. The status light will start flashing 5 times now, and now we're in the Swashplate Acceleration setting. My suggestion to anybody watching this video, turn this thing all the way down, 0%. Just like that. You do not want anything on this. The higher you go with these lights, the more sensitive these sticks are going to become. I'm telling you, you want this absolutely all the way down. Otherwise, this is going to become extremely twitchy. Once that's done, click your set button, and that's it. That is all there is to setting up your flight mode setting. Guys, on the first 3 menus, turn them down. You know, turn them down and make the helicopter sluggish and learn how these gyros are going to work. 20% is a really good setting. On your Swashplate dampening, turn it up to about 70%. What that's going to do is it's almost like adding expo into your radio, except you're doing it on here. So guys, that's all there is to setting up the flight mode settings on this gyro. If you follow along, you turn down the first 3 and then turn up that Swashplate dampening a little bit to 60-70%. This thing is going to be, it's almost hands-off easy to fly. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, come over to the forum and post up. We're happy to help you guys out. I hope you guys learned something today. I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the forum. Be sure to like us on Facebook. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.